on today, fam? So we are back in the day. Today we're going to be doing a quick and easy oil change on our Lexus Gx470. If you have a V8 4Runner or a Lexus Gx470, then this will all be the same for you, all right? So for your oil change, there's a few things that you're going to need. One, so you're going to need to get underneath the vehicle. So, you know, a jack and some jack stands will make this job a lot easier, just give you more ground clearance. This vehicle's already jacked up partially. All right, next thing is you don't need some oil. All right, so the manual calls for 5W30, but today I'm gonna be running Shell Rotella T5 10W30. It's a synthetic blend. So, yeah, man, I really like this oil. I use it on my vehicles, so this is what we're going with today. I'll have a link to it in the description. For our oil filter, we're gonna be running a genuine Lexus Toyota oil filter. These are pretty affordable and you can't do better than the OEM. All right, so this is the part number right here, and I will also have this link in the description for your viewing pleasure. All right, so we got our oil, we got our oil filter. Those are the main two hard items that we're going to need. I have 2 gallons of this right here because the V8, the 2UZ, uses 6.6 quarts, but I'm gonna fill it up to 7. All right, I'm gonna fill it up to 7. All right, so once you got all of those things, a few tools that you're gonna need. One is gonna be a drip pan. All right, 2 is gonna be an actual funnel. You know, a funnel is debatable. Sometimes you can just pour it in, but a funnel makes it easier and it decreases your chance of making a mess. So first thing you're gonna do is remove all of your engine covers. I've already removed mine, they're up there. I don't keep them on. Next thing we're gonna do is remove our oil filter cap. Our oil filler cap. All right, so this is going to just make it so that while we're trying to drain the oil, it's not pulling a vacuum, okay? Just so it's not pulling a vacuum. So it'll make the oil drain quicker. Once we do that, now it's time to hop underneath the vehicle. All right, first thing you're gonna have to do is remove a skid plate. So your skid plate is right here. All right, so your skid plate's there to protect just this whole area right here from trees, debris, etc. All right, so what we are going to do is remove the 4 bolts that hold it. So there's 2 12mm bolts up here. One of mine did rust and break, so one is right there. Then the rusty one is right there that broke off. Then when you go back a little bit, right here, in these holes, then you have 2 more bolts. 2 more bolts right there. All right, I might not be able to see, but trust me, they are there. So I'm gonna go ahead and get those removed, and then we'll get to draining this oil. All right, so I got my front skid plate removed. I just put the bolts back in their holes. I find it easier just so I don't lose them as I'm going through. Next thing we're gonna do is go to drain our oil. I got my drip pan in position. Your oil drain plug is gonna be located so where the second skid plate is, and there's an opening for it. That provision right there. It's a 14mm bolt. All right, so all you need to do is just remove that, but just be careful though, and try not to drop the drain plug into your actual oil because I made that mistake before. So I'm gonna go ahead and loosen up, and then I'll let this oil start to drain out. All right, so got this oil coming out now. It's pretty dark, I'm not gonna lie. I should have changed this oil a minute ago. No excuse there. That's not, I mean, it ain't that bad, but it ain't good either. So if your oil looks like this, do yourself a favor and change it a little bit more often. All right, change it a little bit more often. And as you can see, the stream, it's nice and straight, and it's flowing out well. All right, it's flowing out well. So next thing I'm gonna focus my attention on is to your oil filter. All right, so if you look where your left front wheel is, your driver's front wheel, and you pan to the left while you're underneath the vehicle, then you'll meet that oil filter right here. Okay, you'll meet it right there. So hopefully I'll be able to just get this off of my hand. All right, should be able to, but if not, then Toyota made it so you can actually get a oil filter wrench there, which is nice. But yeah, I'm gonna try to get it off by hand. I also have this oil wrench tool that fits any size oil filter right here. So that could come in handy as well. I might try this actually. Let's see. Oh, that put a hole up in there, so let's make a little bit of mess. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab another drip pan. All right, so got the oil filter loose. What I like to do is loosen it, but let it like drain a little bit, just so it doesn't make just as big of a mess, because this oil filter can definitely make a mess all over. So I like to let it drain for a little bit. So once it finishes draining, then I'm going to go ahead and pull it off, and then we'll work on prepping our new oil filter, and then we're going to put back our drain plug and all that good stuff. All right, I try not to make too much of a mess, but the oil filter's off. I like the way that Toyota like engineered this little pathway to kind of like funnel the oil down. That's pretty cool. They did it like that. But now that our oil filter's off, we're gonna go ahead and put in our drain plug. The engine is pretty much done draining. You're never gonna get 100% of the oil out unless you do an oil flush, but it's not a requirement. So next thing we're gonna do is we are gonna grab our drain plug. So you just wanna make sure that it's clean off, that there's no crazy amount of oil up on there. So I'm gonna clean it off right quick. Then we're gonna go ahead and put it back in. All right, so whenever you're reinstalling your drain plug, you want to snug it, okay? Like you want to snug it. You don't want to get too crazy with it and go to possibly like strip out your oil pan. But this is a steel oil pan, so the chances of stripping it out are very slim to none. But still, you just want to get it tight, and then you want to do a little quarter snug. Then you're good to go. All right, so once your drain plug is reinstalled, next you're going to do, pull out your oil filter. All right, pull out your oil filter. Okay, so good thing about these Toyota Lexus ones is they come with a lubricant already on the lip. So that's just so that one, your O-ring doesn't snag. Number two, it doesn't, so your filter doesn't seize. So it's easy to take off next time you will take it off. But what we're going to do is we are going to fill up this oil filter just a little bit. That way there's immediately oil pressure when you restart your engine. So that way the vehicle doesn't have to fill up this oil filter first prior to your engine actually being lubricated. So we're gonna fill this bad boy up. Being the fact that the oil filter is on a slant, I would just fill it up about halfway, because this thing's gonna keep on taking oil. Like, it's crazy how much oil these things hold. Like, they actually hold a ton. Like, you see me pouring, doesn't look like this little thing would hold that much oil, but it actually does. I'm gonna call it good there. All right, so you can see, got my oil in there. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm just going to install it. And when I go to install this, it's just gonna be hand tight. I'll show y'all exactly what I mean. But, so you don't need a tool or anything to actually go to install your new oil filter. You just wanna make sure that it's nice and snug while you do it. So you wanna come to where your old filter came off, and you just wanna clean up around it, make sure no dirt or debris is on there. All right, then once you do that, now you're gonna take your new oil filter, and it's gonna probably leak just a little bit. So you wanna try to get it on there as quick as you can. There we go, and you'll feel just when the threads get up on there. All right, now, once it's on, now you just wanna snug it up with your hand. Hand tight is more than enough. All right, so make sure that's nice and snug. Yep, just like that. All right, so from there, you're gonna have a little bit of oil or residue. So what you wanna do is just clean up around there. And then now you are good to actually go to refill your vehicle. As I said before, this is going to use 6.6 quarts. So our first one, See if I can do this without spilling it. Probably not. Just need to focus. See. That's it, always for your oil sideways. Use your control, always oil. Good stuff. Engine is gonna be happy. Cause I definitely went longer than I should have without changing this oil. If you spill a little bit of oil, it's okay, not the end of the world, but you possibly will smell just some burning, just as the engine heats up. You know, it's just gonna burn off that oil that you spilled. Probably got on the exhaust manifolds. Oh, and then I misspoke a little bit earlier. I said that there was 5 quarts in a gallon. It's 4. I don't know what the word I was talking about. So I'm gonna have pretty much 1 quart of this left. Like I said, I'm gonna overfill mine just a tad bit. Just by half a quart. It's all good. Cool. From there, we're gonna come over to our oil dipstick, which is on the opposite side of the vehicle. But if you have decided to do your own oil change, you probably know where it's located. But just in case you don't, it's located on the passenger side of the engine. It's this yellow handle right here. Pull that up. So what you're gonna want to do is clean this off, and then once the oil, come on camera, focus. There we go. Clean this off, then once the oil actually gets down to the bottom of the oil pan, then you want to actually go through, God, doesn't want to focus, and you want to take another reading of the oil dipstick. It's a little too thin for it to focus on. Let's see. Nah, it ain't gonna focus. But yeah, so, and then you just wanna make sure that you are right at the full line. There's 2 dots up on here, so the upper dot is gonna be where the full line actually is. Let me see. I'll get this to focus. There we go. Yep, so this top one right here, because you're gonna be looking at it the way you poured it out. So you should be right at that dot, right at the top dot. All right, so now we gotta get rid of that maintenance required light. All right, super simple. So while you're in the vehicle in the driver's seat, all you're gonna do is turn your ignition on. Then you're gonna navigate to where it says right here, odometer. So you're gonna push this button until it says odometer, ODO. All right, now that that's on, so now we're gonna turn that off. All right, now we're gonna go back to that same button and we're gonna hold it. All right, just hold it like that while we hold it, and then we're gonna turn our ignition to the on position, but don't start the vehicle. And now we see our maintenance required light beeping. All right, and then it just went off. So now we can go start our vehicle normally, and then we won't have that light. Okay, so super simple, super simple. So once you start your vehicle, what I like to always do is just hop out. Just before I go to put back on my skid plate and everything, just make sure that there's no leaks or anything coming from the engine. Make sure the engine sounds normal, and it does. No leaks, no anything like that. So we are good to go. So once your vehicle's ran for a little while, then it's always a good idea just to go back and check your oil to make sure that you don't need to top it off, because sometimes you need to just add a little bit more after all the oil has ran through the system. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go through and put my skid plates back. Then after that, I'm going to show y'all what you do with your old oil and how to properly get rid of it. All right, so as I told you, I'm going to show you how to properly get rid of your old oil. The way I do that is I always just save my oil containers, so that way I can put the old oil into them. Then you can take it to any of your local auto parts stores, O'Reilly's, Advanced Auto, AutoZone, etc., and then they will take your used oil for free. So that is what we will be doing. It's always tricky not to make a mess during this process, though. Always. Alright. Some oil gone. y'all get the gist of what I'm doing here. Oh yeah, a little crud up in there. I can fish that out. But yeah, so I'm just gonna continue to fill this old thing up. Once I actually fill it up, then I will go to just to turn it into a auto parts store, and then that will be that. But that is going to wrap it up for my oil change video. I hope y'all enjoyed. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave those questions in the comment section below. I will have all the parts I use linked in the description. I will have everything you need to do an oil change on your Gx470 or V8 4Runner in the description, down to the drain pan and everything for you. So, you know, if y'all just want to go through Amazon, say click, 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 and get everything you need, I can do that for you as well. But take it easy, I'm out.
Coast